if you guys know this, but I am hard of hearing. I've had a hearing loss since I was born. So there's a lot of questions people have about that. And I'm here today, on this day of today, to answer that question for you. And that question is, ladies and gentlemen, what's it like being deaf? Now, generally, people don't ask me that question like that. But yes, I'm here today to answer the question, what's it like being deaf? It's kind of a complicated question to answer. And the reason is this. Because I was born hard of hearing, I've never had the true experience of, hearing. So I'm not really sure how to make a comparison. Kind of sat there and I was like, how do I compare being able to hear when I've never heard properly? I need hearing aids to hear. Does that make me a cyborg? I mean, I need machines to hear, so that would mean a part of me is a machine. Welcome to the planet. That was a little extreme, but I think I'm a cyborg. Anyway, so since I've never heard, it's kind of hard for me to make a comparison. However, I'm going to assume that the way you guys hear is the way that I hear when I have my hearing aids in, and I'll compare that with when I take them out. I guess that's kind of a fair assumption. So when I have my hearing aids in, I can hear pretty well, for the most part. Comparing that with taking them out. So when I take my hearing aids out, there's a significant loss in hearing. Without my hearing aids, my hearing is basically lawnmower and louder. So you can imagine the significant hearing loss that I have. Now, that being said, it depends on the distance that I am from that object that's making the noise as well. If you were to stand pretty much like this close to me, I would probably hear you just fine. Let's not go that far. So I would be able to hear you maybe, let's say 50% better than if you were standing 10 feet away from me. Does that make sense? So when I take them out, it's almost comparable to being underwater, or having noise canceling headphones, or plugging in your ears. I don't know. It's really hard to make a comparison. Oh, and it also depends on the pitch as well. So if a person has a really high pitch, I might hear them better than somebody with a low pitch. Unless their low pitch is super loud, like a lawnmower. It's so confusing. That's why I don't like answering this question. So I made some notes and I'm cheating. Just give me 1 second while I read this. So let's say you were standing there and so let's say you were standing there, but you were facing the opposite direction and you were trying to talk to me. There's no way that I would have any idea what you're saying. But if you were facing me, because I can read lips, just one of my many beautiful talents, I might be able to understand what you're saying. Just had to take my hearing aid out for a second. I can show you something. Did you hear that? I also do this a lot when I don't have my hearing aids in. I lost my hearing aid a couple weeks ago. These are brand new ones. I found myself doing this a lot because, I don't know, I feel like you hear better when you do this. Put that in. My ear's a little tender because these hearing aids are brand new and it's rubbing up against my ears, so my ears are a little tender. Love me tender, love me true. So I guess that's the comparison that I'm gonna make. A, it's like being underwater or plugging your ears in or wearing noise canceling headphones. B, it's really difficult to answer that question since I don't know what it's like to hear. C, something else, I'm not really sure. So I hope that gave you an idea of what it's like to be deaf. Like I said, it's really hard to make a comparison when I've never heard before, but in comparison, it's like being underwater. I wish I could give you a broad, detailed explanation of what it's like to be completely deaf. It's a unique experience for each and every person, and that's just the best way that I can explain my hearing loss to you guys. Thank you for watching my video. I sure appreciate it. Don't forget to like this video, share it with all your friends, and subscribe to my channel, That Deaf Canadian Guy. Mwah!